Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good? What's good? What's good? Yeah, I just realized I need some lotion on my hands, and sorry for those that don't like me when I do this. Don't care. The news is far more important than this stuff. Far more important. You know what I mean? So we actually have a lot of news. We've got Tether CEO Ardoino, Paolo Ardoino, actually talking about or speaking with the United States government over stablecoin regulation. Put that together with Christopher Waller. He's a governor saying that he's a Federal Reserve governor, saying that he'd like to see regulation that would allow banks to issue stablecoins. On top of that, you've got Maxine Waters actually issuing a bipartisan bill called it took 3 years for this, by the way, actually for the regulation of stablecoins. So I'm interested to find out the difference between stable and the other one. I forgot what the other one name was, but it's the same kind of thing, moniker. And I'm kind of like, ooh, that would be interesting. Let's go get both of those bills, put them side by side, and see what the key points are, and then compare the key points. I think maybe I'll do that tonight. That'll be really interesting. Then you've got Ethereum seeing about $2.457 billion actually leave exchanges. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, oh my gosh, that's great news. How is that not great news? Because it says that people want their coins. I'm just saying, it says that people are looking to do this, and I'm all about more and more, awareness. That's what I'm looking for, is awareness. And then you have Argentinian President Milei. Yeah, he's that joker that tries to act like the new regime here in the United States, and he had this coin called LIBRA, or LIBRA. Let me look this up. Yeah, LIBRA. And supposedly, this coin was developed by the same team that developed Melania. Yeah. You see where that went. And there were problems with Melania. There are problems with LIBRA. And then you have Charles Hoskinson, because nobody asked him, weighing in on the idea that, well, maybe he was misled. And I'm like, nobody misled him. Not at all. I don't believe that at all. Not even close. I don't know what Charles Hoskinson is playing at, but it's another one of those opportunities for Charles to actually learn how to be quiet. Mind your business. Don't get involved in something that can only have a negative effect. Right? You're still involved with Cardano. It had nothing to do with Cardano. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. This was the perfect opportunity for you to stay in your lane. Brilliant man. But opens his mouth too much about things that don't concern him. Focus on your space. You didn't have anything to do with it, and you're hypothesizing that Milei was misled. No, I wouldn't have touched that with a 10-foot pole. I would have been like, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know. I would have said that. Anything other than, well, I think he was misled. Because if it comes out that he wasn't misled, that's going to damage your name. That would be a self-inflicted wound. And what pisses me off even more is that it could affect Cardano. Please, shut all the way up. What was that line in the movie? Go all the way up to shut mountain and shut all the way up. Just saying. Just please stick to what you know. Even if it was true that he was misled. Even if it was true. What point is it for you to say anything? Just why? Why? This guy's surrounded by negativity and you want to voice opinion. We get it. You like certain leaders around the world, or certain people in positions of power around the world. We get it. But really, stop doing things that'll mess up Cardano. What else do we have? Ethereum Seeing. I'm just sitting back and I just can't get over that 2.457. I had to look at the numbers again. Billion with a B. That says that there's incredibly reduced sell pressure. Incredibly reduced sell pressure. Everybody's kind of like, yeah, well, I'll hold on to this. I'll wait. I am. And I don't have a lot of coins in my bags. I don't have a lot of bags. I've got certain bags. I got slots for them. That's it. I'm not trying to go too deep. I'm not trying to go too crazy. Why is that? Because it takes a lot to manage. It takes a lot to do the research on it. Not only do I have to do research on my bags, but I have to do research for the shows. It takes a lot to do the research. So I'm not interested in having 50 bazillion bags out there. If I had money and that's all I had to do, maybe then. But that's actually really good news to have that brought back in. Something that caught my attention was the idea of smart contracts in the healthcare system. And a study is saying that there's going to be about $10 billion in that space. The healthcare sector is projected to adopt smart contracts for payments, supply chain, and interoperability with, right now, it's Estonia leading the digital health advancement, case. And I'm sitting back and I started thinking about that. And I was like, wow, that actually sounds interesting. In the United States, we have a very complex healthcare system. It's not a very good one, but putting that on the blockchain or a blockchain where you can actually see transactions, see costs, see numbers and everything out there, you sit there and you're kind of like, ooh, now that sounds correct. That sounds correct. I mean, I already kind of think that insurance is going to hit the blockchain, right? But healthcare itself, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting because you have all the healthcare providers that, don't necessarily want to say yes to healthcare transactions. I'm like, that could be very interesting because healthcare insurance is healthcare insurance. But we're talking about just healthcare smart contracts, just, for payments, for, just all that stuff. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, that actually works. That would actually work. And it might actually work to considerably decrease the amount of complexity and unnecessary administrative tasks that happen around healthcare. Okay, I can see that. There is a well-known investor labeling XRP as a centralized controlled security and warns of regulatory chaos if an XRP ETF is approved. And that person is Jason Calacanis. He's invested in Uber, Robinhood. He's been around for a minute. He's got that All In podcast with a bunch of billionaires. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. He says it's the opposite of Bitcoin. Wow. I want to dig in deeper into the article, but I thought it was interesting. I thought his perspective was very interesting. His arguments, decently sound, but I think XRP is becoming more and more decentralized. So I don't know about that. You know what I mean? And I think as we move forward, XRP is going to be one of the most widely used coins out there for transactions. I think it and Cardano, actually. I think it and Cardano. Hedera as well. There's not going to be one coin to handle it all. There's not going to be just one coin. I think there are going to be several coins, and I think those are several coins that'll be in the bucket. Bitwise CEO Hunter Horsley forecasts increased Bitcoin ETF inflows and increased corporate buying. And I'm sitting back and I'm kind of going, yeah, I can definitely see that. I can absolutely see that. I think my questions come in as more and more people or companies are buying Bitcoin, and I'm seeing their valuations go up, their worth go up, and I'm sitting there and I'm just going, why? Just because you buy Bitcoin does not mean that you know how to manage your company. How are you managing your company? Then talk to me about your Bitcoin. Some of these companies, I sit there and I just kind of go, maybe you're going to become worth more from a Bitcoin perspective than you will even from your core business. That would be a good reason to get bought, right? Just saying. There are things that I pay attention to that just like wild ideas that I have about certain things, and I'm just like, possible, very possible, right? Maxine Waters introduces the culmination of 3 years worth of work, bipartisan work, toward a Bitcoin, toward a stable coin regulatory bill. And I sat there and I was like, ooh, 3 years. Who knew? And it's actually, its acronym is STABLE, STABLE. And I'm kind of like, the bill proposes strong reserve requirements and consumer protection, but faces uncertainty in the Republican-led House. The Federal Reserve's regulatory role remains a key debate point. Because remember, the other bill is primarily a Republican bill. It's my idea to sit back and actually compare the two. I think that would be very interesting to compare the two bills and see who says what. Because that one right there, that part right there where it says that you need to have strong reserve requirements, or it will have strong reserve requirements, I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of going, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because Tether has some pretty good reserves. And then I also look at stablecoin issuers with a different light, right? My different light is that they don't necessarily serve the same purpose, right? So that's kind of something I pay attention to. And just because you're friendly with the United States doesn't necessarily mean that you're the best option, right? Because just keep in mind that, Tether is not based in the United States, and the push is for United States coins. And I'm sitting back and I'm just going, who will control those coins? There's a lot to be discussed, And let's not forget that Tether is ranked, I think, number 19 in terms of U.S. debt holdings, or U.S. Treasury holdings. Wow. Mind you, banks don't necessarily have to have 100% of their money on hand. So a run on the bank could cause a major problem, because they're not necessarily going to have all the cash to handle it all. Never have. So yeah, there's that. So I'm just wondering, so what does the stablecoin bill look like? There's also Christopher Waller. He's a Fed Reserve governor, and he's saying that banks should be allowed to issue stablecoins. And I'm kind of like, that's interesting. Why? Why do we need more stablecoins? Here's a kicker for you. Why would I want a bank to issue a stablecoin? Banks don't even know what they are right now. They don't even know what they are right now. Who are you? What do you do? Right? The whole idea of checking and savings, what does that mean anymore? What do I want from a bank? A mortgage? To create loans? DeFi? Banks need to really rethink what banking is. Get back to those roots and start to say, okay, it's a new world. What are we? Where are we? How are we doing it? Why are we doing it? We should be thinking like that. I find it interesting. I find the whole thing to be interesting. Just saying, I think that there are going to be certain handcuffs being taken off of banks. I think that there are going to be certain predatory transactions that will come from this. I think that there's a possibility that we could have another banking problem because of this. I hope banks are smart enough that when the shackles are taken off, they kind of go, yeah, we're not going to walk down that road. Because all these other banks failed. And I think it would be hard this time if big banks fail or there are predatory practices put into place and then those laws come back. It's going to be hard for people not to go to jail. We've got to see you as an entity. And here's my other thing. If you have a predatory, if you do predatory practices as a bank, it's my opinion that everybody at the top no longer allowed to be at the banking, in the banking industry. That would be number one. Number two, that bank gets dissolved. Obviously, you don't know what you're doing. Why should you be a bank? Haha. Yeah. I think there should be steep penalties. Steep. Right? Tokyo investment firm Metaplanet. They got that cash infusion, 25 million plus, almost 26 million, might as well call it 26 million. And they rounded up their Bitcoin to about, 2031 right now, with plans to accumulate 10,000 by the end of this year. And I'm like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. What business are you in that you're paying attention to buying more and more and more and more Bitcoin? I just want to know what the end game is. What is the end game for you holding Bitcoin? And I think not 2025, but maybe 2026, 27, we'll start to see that end game for certain businesses buying Bitcoin. You'll start to see the loans happen against the portfolios and things like that. I think you're going to see more of that, way more of that. But you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. Let's go do that. All right. So who do we have earnings? We have earnings this week. Walmart, Alibaba. That's retail. I'm expecting good numbers for Q4, but I'm expecting not so great numbers going forward. Right. Booking Holdings, same thing. That's travel. Who else is in here that I'm paying attention? Constellation Energy, interesting. Carvana, that's going to be a telling one. Block Inc., that'll be another telling one, right? So there are a few this week that I'm thinking about are going to hit different, and I want to see what they are. Then when you look at the numbers this week, what do we get? Let's see, Fed Speak, Home Builder Confidence Index, Empire State Manufacturing, Fed Speak, Housing Starts, Building Permits on Wednesday, Initial Jobless Claims Thursday, more Fed Speak, U.S. leading economic indicators also on Thursday. Friday, we'll get existing home sales along with more Fed Speak, consumer sentiment, the final number, S&P, flash U.S. manufacturing PMI as well as regular PMI. It's going to be an interesting week. Between last week and this week, it's going to be very interesting because that's going to tell us a lot about where the Fed is moving. I'm telling you, it's not going to be the lower rates. I'm telling you that now. The Fear and Greed Index is at 51. Pretty nice. Right now, we seem to be stable. 118 in terms of total value locked. We were around this price when I last did it on Friday, so pretty good. Looking at Bitcoin, yeah, we're still moving laterally. We came out of this downward trend, and now we're just moving straight across. I would like to see that happen for a little while longer. Why? Consolidation. We consolidate right here, and then we explode above 110. And again, I'm expecting that to happen in March in a big way, in a very big way. Looking at the big board, Litecoin is taking a hit. Solana taking a big hit. Look at that, 185. Ethereum down. I mean, there are just a lot of things here that I could actually look at that I want to get my hands on. Link anytime under 20. Aave, something I'm interested in. They went up. Lido went up. Shiba Inu is in a good number space. But there are a lot of things here that make me want to buy. And then I look at the numbers going across. I like understanding the rhythm of coins, right? And I get that rhythm by looking at the 1 hour, the 24 hour, the 7-day, 30, 60, 90, and year to date. That really does help to give me an idea about what that rhythm is for a given coin, right? Ethereum's hurting in terms of year to date money. I think it'll come back, but right now it's hurting at down, little. You might as well have 17%. XRP is up 29%. Bitcoin is only at 3%. I'm telling you, I'm looking across these coins and I'm kind of like, there are a lot of opportunities. A lot of opportunities. Right? Litecoin is doing well. Stellar's barely back in the black, but I like Stellar. I don't even like Stellar. I love Stellar. Shiba Inu is another one that I love because I think it'll pop. Let's see right here. Mantra has been popping like an animal. Look at this, up 93.25% year to date. Every time you turn around, it's got a new all-time high. Just saying, there are opportunities out there we could be paying attention to. When I look at the winners, actually, let's look at the losers first. All right. We have Jupiter down 7.124% with a GMBX factor of 1.39. I think it'll be fine. Let's see who else. Yeah, official Trump is down 6.10%. It's down to 17.79 with a GMBX factor of 3.13. I think it'll do it. I really do. Just because of the name, I think it'll do it. Oh, excuse me. As soon as everything goes up, you'll see. That's literally what I'm thinking. Litecoin is down 5. I think this is just a buying opportunity again to me. 2.29 GMBX factor. Virtuals protocol has a 3.12 GMBX factor, and it's at 5% down. Yeah, I would take that. Yes, I do have a bag of virtuals for sure, but after that, I got my 5% rule. Not going to pay attention anymore. Then on the winner's side, let me just make sure I'm in the right place. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, same thing. Look at that. You stop right there. Lido, Aave, both with good GMBX factors. Fartcoin, not with such a good GMBX factor, but it's popular. Oh, excuse me. Tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Got a lot of work to do today. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun day. Anybody else I'm paying attention to? That's it. There's nobody else I'm really paying attention to in the top 25. That means everything is going lateral right now. Everything's moving laterally right now. Not mad about that at all. At all. That's some good stuff. That's some really good stuff. Yeah, and we're still banging out the social media aspect of everything, but it's going well. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes, tell your friends about this community, and absolutely become a member. You can become a member by going to GrowMyBag.tv/sign-up. Baggers are only $12 a year, as well as big baggers are $120 a year, and they get that once a month video conference call. It's a private call only between big baggers, and they get a lot more. We've got a big bagger list of coins that we actually track, and we have a process by which we actually evaluate coins and bring them to the team. I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun being a big bagger. Remember, being a big bagger is about mindset, not about how much money you have or how many assets you have. All right, it's about that mindset. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And most of all, thank you for your trust. I greatly appreciate you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.